Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 45 for the week of March 24th to 28th. Thanks for ordering this week. Thanks for the amazing support. And thanks for letting us cook for you and with you at home. We've got a really amazing menu this week. My partner Clay had a little taste of the dessert this afternoon and he just loved it. But we've got a wild mushroom risotto for an appetizer, smoked Cornish game hen for a main course, and this delicious choux pastry for dessert. I'll apologize in advance. There's a few more dishes to do tonight, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. So I've jumped ahead and I've taken the Cornish game hen in the container that it came in, just take the top off and put it in the oven. It's going to be in the oven for 18 minutes at 425 degrees, and I've set an alarm so it's going to let me know when it's ready. So now we need to get going on our appetizer. So we need two pans to medium-high heat for the appetizer. So the first one is going to be for the mushrooms. Let me make sure I'm getting this property. So risotto in one pan with 1 tablespoon of water and 1 tablespoon of butter per person. So I'm going to do this guy for our risotto. There's 2 tablespoons of water. And we'll get the risotto up there. And then the mushrooms are going to be next. And then the mushrooms are over here. That is for the risotto. For the mushrooms itself, we're going to do 1 tablespoon of butter per person for them. Now, we get our mushrooms from a local mushroom grower or cultivator called Christophe Marino, Le Copain. Really amazing supplier partner. I feel like it's a challenging week. There's been such this herky-jerky back and forth with closing, opening, red zone, orange zone, all this kind of stuff. So I might need a little more wine tonight, and maybe you guys do too. Connor nailed it this week. So we've got a dry white wine from Hungary tonight, and it's a Chateau Meyer. Ferment is the grape variety, Tokay is the region, and it's from Hungary. Connor says aromas of white flowers, lychee, pear, and subtle hint of pepper. Welcome the nose. Anyway, he goes on with a little Connor poeticness. All right, so I've got the butter going on. Mushrooms are going in. And then the butter and water here. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. And then our risotto goes in. Now the risotto has been par-cooked already. And so you don't have to cook it the whole way because that's a very labor-intensive process. So I've got this fabulous wooden spoon that I love using for just about anything. So just break up your risotto nicely. And for the main course, by the way, I've jumped ahead a little bit and I put 2 pots on the stove on low heat. One is the mustard demi-glaze and the other one is this beautiful beet puree, which has like the greatest color of all time. Usually we like to color code things, but this week it's pretty obvious what everything is, but we've color coded it for you anyway. The beet puree is going to be the bright pink dot, and the demi-glaze, the nice orange one. Okay, so with the mushrooms, you can saute them like this or toss them around. Don't forget salt and pepper. And it's going to go in both the risotto and your mushrooms. I caught something that the chefs forgot. We were supposed to have some pecorino in here. I know I've got some at home, and isn't it great that we do this in advance so that we can put this in there? That's Parmesan, and there's our pecorino. And that's going to have to be shaved on top. So your pecorino shaving might look a little bit different than mine because I'm shaving it versus the chefs. We'll get that ready to go for afterwards. All right. I want to take a second while I'm doing the appetizer and sauteing things up to thank some of our best supporters. Now I can't, thank Jackie and James every week. So let me talk about some other people. They're our neighbors, so I see them a lot as well. Rick V, you've been amazing. You order almost every week, and I'm just so grateful, and your feedback is also amazing. Jennifer C, Barbara G, Gloria S. Just want to say thanks. I looked through our orders today and just seeing your name there so many times, it just warms my heart to have you guys embrace what we're doing and order week after week. So just really want to say thank you. There's so many others, but I don't want to spend all night like an Oscar parade thanking everyone and their cousin. So I'm going to do a few every week. This is starting to smell beautiful. Okay, so we're almost there for the risotto. So I'm going to start thinking about the main course. Let me go and see what we're doing. So we're reheating the demi-glaze and the beet puree separately on medium heat, stirring occasionally, and that actually should be on low heat. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of neutral oil per person for our spätzle and beautiful veg. We've got the first of the springtime veg. We pushed the boundaries a little bit this week, and we brought in some asparagus from California. We don't quite have it ready in Ontario yet, but it will be there soon. Oh, the risotto's looking great. Okay, let me turn this guy on and warm up the oil while we're using the big pan. Almost there. So we're going to fry the spätzle for 3 minutes until golden brown. But I'm going to move this over once my risotto is ready, which I can see that it almost is. Turn that guy off so it doesn't beep at me. So let's go back to the risotto. We've got to pour the risotto in a bowl and top with the mushrooms, and then with the arugula, which we're going to toss with some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Maybe my portion is going to be a little bit bigger. There is nothing better than a creamy, delicious risotto. Oh, paper towel to clean up the plate. Our mushrooms looking good. That guy's turned off. Make sure we're moving the sauces around a little bit. Okay. So let's go back to the recipe. We're going to top with the mushrooms, then the arugula, then the hazelnuts, and then the pecorino. But first, the arugula needs to get seasoned. So some olive oil, salt and pepper. Not too much salt because you've got your pecorino going on, which is going to be salty as well. All right. So our beautiful mushrooms here. Thank you, Christoph. You always do such a great job. We've been using Christoph now for, it's pushing almost 20 years at Bechta. Lovely. And it's these amazing artisans that, allow us to keep putting out great products. Okay. Arugula next. Now make sure that, you can still see the mushrooms below. They're such a huge part of this dish. Hey, Google, off. So that's my Cornish hen. So I'm going to turn the oven off. It's looking good. I'm just going to keep it in there for a minute while I finish plating this stuff. Yeah, so for a little crunch, a little bit of saltiness, we are going to do the lovely toasted hazelnuts. What's on there? And then for the pecorino, it's a little secret. Use a peeler, a vegetable peeler is a great way to shave some pecorino. But your pecorino will be shaved. I just forgot to double check that we had that last ingredient in our meal kit today. we go. Clean this up real nice. Maybe I'm going to remove a little bit of arugula so that I can see all the different components. And there is our wild mushroom risotto with the arugula, toasted hazelnuts, and pecorino. Hope you enjoy that one. Okay, let's get our main courses rolling. Okay, so the oil is nice and hot here. I'm going to move to my gas stove, which I prefer. Yes, be quiet. So spätzle goes in first. Now just give it a little stir so that it sort of breaks up. Now spätzle, for those of you who haven't had it before, is a loose pasta, and my understanding is that it is from Austria. Make sure the heat's not too high, but we want to get a nice little golden brown crust on it. Actually, I am going to get my wooden spoon back because I love this guy the best for this kind of thing. Now let it get a little bit of a crust, and then we're going to work the rest. Now, let's see how our Cornish hen is doing. It's gorgeous. There was a real debate today about, do we let the hen rest at all? And the thought was no. So no need to rest the hen, but I'm going to let it rest for a couple of minutes just because I finished up a little bit late on that. All right, let's talk about the red wine tonight. Thomas Bachelder is a great Niagara winemaker. He actually trained in Burgundy, and he did the Clos Jourdain project in Niagara. Now he's gone off to do his own thing now, and he makes beautiful Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs very much in the Burgundian style. Very nice. This is his Parfum wine, and it's a younger, fresher Pinot Noir style, and it's just really super tasty. If you're watching this advance, I decant the wine or pour it into a glass early, maybe an hour beforehand. The acids soften, and then the whole thing becomes a little bit richer. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got about 3 minutes now on the spätzle. Turn this up a little bit. And then next is going to be our asparagus. Let me just double check. Golden brown. At this stage, add your asparagus and continue to cook for 2 more minutes. First asparagus of the year from the Northern Hemisphere. Maybe we cheated once or twice and got in some Southern Hemisphere stuff. So give that a little stir until it is nice and cooked. And then we're going to add the Swiss chard and 1 tablespoon of butter per person. And then don't forget the seasoning. Give our demi-glaze a little spin. Make sure our beet puree is coming along. The hen looks amazing. I might throw it in the oven to just reheat it for the last minute or two, so that we can have it nice and hot for my family. Okay. Oh yeah, let's plate the dessert. In the meantime, so we've got this beautiful choux pastry. So we're trying to figure out a garnish today, and the chefs like a very clean, minimalist dessert. But I thought what might be nice is some icing sugar. So I said I would give it a try, and we'll see. This is an optional thing. Like oftentimes I say, if you've got some fruit in the fridge, you can use it. So in this case, actually, in this case, the choux pastry is going to come in a string of 3. And break it up, and then turn it into a bit of a triangle. I really like the icing sugar on the bottom. It makes it very pretty. I'm going to do one with it on the bottom, and I'm going to do one with it on top, and we're going to see what happens. See which one looks better. But if you have some icing sugar at home. This is totally for garnish. It's just really to make it pretty. Make it pretty for the pictures, maybe sell some more meal kits. So if you've got one of these little strainers at home, you put a little icing sugar in it and you tap it like this, and then it comes off. I'm going to do it around the plate so I don't cover up the chocolate too much. You can tell me which one you guys like more. Icing sugar on top, and there's the chocolate covered espresso beans in it that are just marvelous. This is the one that Clay was raving about today. Okay, I think we're ready on the asparagus now. We're going to add the 2 tablespoons of butter because we've got 2 portions here. Make sure the beet puree is nice and warm. Again, I'm going to throw the Cornish hen back in just for a minute until we're ready to go. Make sure it's nice and warm. Once the butter is melted, we're going to throw the Swiss chard in just for 1 minute. And season it with salt and pepper. Almost there. Let's get some spoons out. Haha. All my big spoons are in the dishwasher. Does that ever happen to you guys? It sure does to me sometimes. Okay. We've got 1 more minute. Do a little cleanup so it looks like I'm organized and I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I want the Swiss chard to be nice and cooked, nice and wilted. Because nothing is fun about eating bitter Swiss chard. This is why I might hit it with a little more salt as well. All right, so I know, I'll turn that off, that the beet puree is going to go down first. And the chef suggests putting it in a circle at the bottom. The smell is amazing, but the color of this guy is just so gorgeous. And you can spread it out on the bottom of your plate with your spatula or a spoon. I love when you guys send me pictures, so please keep doing that or posting on social media. It's just such a gorgeous thing. Your support is incredible because you're telling your friends about this, and then they order meal kits, and then we keep rolling. All right. So next is going to be our spätzle with the asparagus and the Swiss chard. And try to do it almost in a line if you want. Feel free to plate any way you like. But if you want some instructions on plating, what I like is that we make sure that we show a little bit of all the different ingredients underneath. So that's going to be my sort of Instagram shot that many of you are waiting for to be able to buy your meal kit this week. Make sure that the pictures look great. All right. Done there. So Cornish hen, here we go. Oh, the smell is incredible. I love our smoked meals. That's going to be the one right there. And you've got this beautiful jus, so make sure to put that on top of the bird. Keep it moist. And then finally our demi-glaze. You might get a little skin on the top of it, just like I did there. Give it a spin, mix it up. I remember once the demi-glaze was a little thick and it almost came on like gelatin. That was not great for the picture. This is better. You want it to be like a very thin gravy, but the mustard really sets it off. God, the colors in this are amazing. Clean that up, and that is my Instagram worthy smoked Cornish hen with the beet puree, our lovely Spätzle, asparagus, and Swiss chard. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for the support. It means the world to us. I hope you love your meal, and I hope we get to cook and curate for you again real soon. See you next week.